What a way to send a warning to Atletico de Madrid. FC Barcelona 4, Villarreal 1. Overall, I would say this was a fairly efficient game from us. Not absolutely great, but I'll take it. And if this game said anything, it has just told us that a comeback against Atleti is very possible. First half was end to end from both teams, even though Lamine Yamal was the difference. We went into halftime 2-0 up because Lamine Yamal took the game by its neck and told Villarreal that I am here. It looked as though he was very quiet, but as special players do, they can wake up in an instant, and that is what Lamine Yamal did today. First career hat-trick for him. This will be a very, very, very memorable game for Lamine. I mean, each of those goals displayed his brilliance and the ability that we know he has. He's truly coming into his own. I think this is his 12th or 13th La Liga goal, if I'm not mistaken. So we're already seeing the growth. And for all the haters that are saying he doesn't turn up in a big game, this is a big game. Technically, Villarreal were in the title race. They are third on the table. So we're able to take them down. While personally, I noticed some lapses in the way we press. We don't have that suffocating press that we had last season, whereby we make teams turn over the ball at a high rate. Now they are able to string along some passes. And I can't just say it's Villarreal because Villarreal are a good team. But we've seen it all through the season. I think that is what Flick and his boys need to work on if we are going to make a charge for the treble. Now, I'd like to say that the most important game for us this season is the next one, because that determines if we are going to the Copa final. We all know it's a 4-0 deficit, but this game has just showed us that even without playing to the absolute best, we can easily score 4 goals. Easily. In the game today, Flick started with a dreaded midfield of Marc Penal, Olmo, and Fermin Lopez. I call it dreaded midfield because it was the midfield combo of Olmo and Fermin that effectively cost us a lead in the La Liga for one match day. We lost heavily to Atleti, with them pairing a lone pivot in the midfield. As of then, it was Frankie. I noticed they are not able to hold on to the game. They are not able to hold the midfield by the scruff of the neck whenever those two are paired. And it's always an end-to-end game. And there were elements of that in this game. But we were fortunate enough partly because the players were fit. They are well rested, so they are able to make up for all those lapses, and then they were able to run. In the Girona game and in the Atleti game, we were not at our peak physically, which explains how bad those games were. But in all honesty, I don't want to see a midfield of Olmo, and Fermin again in a big game. Thankfully, Pedri is working his way back to full fitness. He started on the bench today and he came on in the 67th minute. And he was able to assist Lamine for his last goal that gave him the hat-trick. So based on my observations, Rafinha is still short on his attacking fitness. But on the pressing side of the game, he's putting in the effort. We can always count on Rafinha to put in his best efforts. Ferran, my God. FC Barcelona need a striker. We absolutely need a striker. Fermin cannot be our top striker next season. While watching that game, I was begging for Levy. And Levy did not put me to shame because he got his goal to make it 4 towards the end of the game. After Pedri again found Koundé and Koundé squared the ball to Levy, there was a mix-up where the linesman raised his flag for offside and Levy was like, I wasn't offside, maybe it's Koundé. And Koundé wasn't offside. So I wouldn't say it was a fortunate goal. It was a well-worked goal and well-deserved goal. The goal we considered from Pape Gale was just a switch off from us, a lack of concentration, and Rafinha keeping Pape Gale onside after a corner was swung in from the near post. I wouldn't say it was poorly defended. I would just say it was an attacker who wasn't aware of the offside line, because when you see our back line for the goal Villarreal scored, the one goal they scored, they were all in unison. They were all in unison in line, and it was just Rafinha that was keeping on side. He wasn't. When I saw the goal, I was like, okay, it was just an attacker not being aware or having defensive instincts. He's not always in the back line, so the high line, I would say, isn't something he's very used to as an attacking player. If not, Villarreal were not threatening at all. Their first shot on target was their goal, and they were very fortunate that the ball found Pape Gale in the position he was for a corner. So, Joan Garcia, aside from 2 sweeper keeper moments that he was called upon today, he absolutely had little to do today. Paul Kubasi was constantly covering for Koundé when Koundé missed, it was just the press, because whenever Koundé went out of position, Kubasi had to cover for him, and Villarreal were finding spaces in behind. The only problem or issue I have with today's performance is the press. They are not in sync when they press, and teams are finding it very easy to play through the team, which exposes us. And against big teams, it will be very detrimental for us. Aside that, great game from Lamine, first career hat-trick, absolutely amazing. Ferran Torres absolutely needs to do better. I can't be praying for Lewandowski in a match when I have Ferran, but that's just what it is. And hopefully we'll sort our finances out and go for a top striker in the market. As Thierry Henry said, we are missing a killer striker in the box. Rafinha, I can't fault him. He has been inconsistent this season due to injuries, in and out. He's still working his way up to full fitness. Fermin had an assist for Lamine. The first goal was an assist from Fermin. He was absolutely great today. Olmo is not a central midfielder. I've been crying about the midfield, but I think I should cry more about Olmo, because Olmo is the one that isn't a central midfielder. He's very slow in possession. He misplaces a lot of passes. He's been dispossessed a lot. I think Flick would just do well to rotate him and Fermin in the attacking midfield role. Bernal had a great game today, save for the yellow card that he had, that I believe was needless. But he's on the field, so he knows better than me. But I thought it was absolutely needless. Bernal played a great game today in the left back spot. But I thought Balde was very good today. He needs to improve his attacking output, but he was very good today. Eric Garcia, for some moments, played in the midfield when Flick put on Araujo and took off McBernal due to the yellow card he had to avoid a red card. Eric was great today in the center of the midfield. Pokubasi was amazing. Kunde had a great game. I think Kunde is coming back, and this is just right in time for the business end of the season. Joan Garcia didn't have a lot to do. I don't blame him for that goal. Absolutely great game from us, and what a way to remind Atleti that they are going to see hell. We don't know if we are going to qualify, but the team believes in a remontada, and I believe Camp Nou will give them hell. Camp Nou was quiet today, relatively quiet, but I expect the Grada de Animación to be fully in the stadium and make it an absolutely living hell for Atleti. I'd like to hear your thoughts about the game in the comment section. Please like the button, please hit the like button and subscribe, and I leave you saying Visca el Barça.